One,
Hello.
and we're coming to you live a little later than usual, but they said better late than never, and we're gonna talk about what's going on with college football today and what went on last week. Last week, the better predictors were my friend here to my left and Matthew. They got 4 out of 6 correct, and that's usually been they've been saying over 500. Yeah,
Yeah, trying to. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to pick predictions for college sports cuz they're around my age. They're
yeah.
19, 20,
Yeah,
so
anything can happen for sure. So that's usually the case. So today, we're gonna go over some of the major things that happened last week. Then we'll go over the games that are going on mostly today, obviously, and then we usually finish up with maybe some possible upsets that could happen. So all right, so tell us about last week. What were some of the highlights that
so
happened there?
last week it wasn't like the week before where it was just craziness and Tennessee beat Alabama and they like brought down the goalposts. Nothing like that, but it was still a good week. It was an entertaining week. The main highlight, the biggest surprise of last week was probably Ole Miss versus LSU because Ole Miss had a 2 touchdown lead and then LSU scored 42 points in a row
Oh,
and they just
yeah.
destroyed them. And Ole Miss was ranked number 7 and LSU was not ranked, and that just turned their season around. Now they're like in contention for the SEC. So
All of a
out of
sudden,
nowhere.
yeah, all of
So
a sudden LSU is relevant. They weren't at the beginning, but they're relevant.
yes.
Hello, Boris. Hello, Todd. Thanks for you guys to join us. I'm gonna put the link here so that anybody that wants to join and give your picks, you can do it. That's part of what we do here. We try to get everybody to participate. So anytime Saturday mornings, you guys wanna anybody that likes college football wants to come and talk about it, we'll give you a spotlight. So all right, there's the link, Boris, so you can join. So I'm gonna get here on the schedule and see what's going on because today, they of course we're excited about some of the games because there's a game that we could be extremely happy because a no ranked team, which is our team,
Yep.
is gonna go against the number one team. So that could be, of course, we could get completely trampled, or we could win. Yeah. All right, let's put Boris here and real quick and tell him to say, "How are you doing today,
Hey,
Boris?"
Boris.
Doing good.
Is any of your football European football teams playing today?
Yeah, right now Chelsea plays, but they are losing 2-0 right now, so I quit watching.
Oh,
Oh.
well, this is a good this is a good kind of say set your mind to the side kind of thing to do
Yeah,
while they recover. Okay.
yeah. Brighton started so strong, and it could
Well,
be even a 4-0 right now, but
Yeah.
dang it. All right, Boris, we'll bring you back in a little bit then when we start predictions. All right, stay
okay.
tuned there. All right, so here we go. So what we got?
Okay, so the first game is number 2 Ohio State at number 13 Penn State.
Yes.
Ohio State is favored by 15 and a half points, even though they're going to Penn State. So that just says a lot about Ohio State. The last time Penn State played someone really good was Michigan, and Michigan just dominated them. Like
Yeah.
they destroyed them. So
Are they gonna do the whiteout thing?
no, they did the whiteout last week.
They should have saved it for this
they
week.
should have. Yeah, they need everything. They're not a bad team, but Ohio State, they're just very balanced. But this is their test. They haven't really been tested, so this is
Dang
their
it.
first test. I know Penn State is at home, but Ohio State, even though they haven't been tested, they're a very balanced team
Yeah.
all around, no weaknesses, and I think that's what I'm gonna go with, Ohio State.
Yeah, I want to root for Penn State myself, but I really see it as very unlikely. Anything can happen, and they're at home. So I mean, it's college football. This could definitely be on the radar for an
Yeah.
upset. But if I have to go with what's the team that's been playing best, I hands down it is Ohio State. So That's my pick. I actually, you know what? I'm gonna start writing them here because if not, we forget. I'm gonna write here who's picking what. Let's see. Let's see what Boris thinks of this game.
Well, can't say anything else but Ohio State.
Yeah, I think we would all be surprised if anybody else wins other
Very
than Ohio
surprised.
State.
A big surprise. Yeah.
Maybe the goalpost will come
Yeah,
down on
maybe
this
they
one.
rush the field. Yeah, because it'd be crazy.
All right, let's see. So what else was? And that one is at what you already said
That was
that
at
time?
12.
At
Yes.
12. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start writing here your guys' predictions. So go ahead and tell us what's the next one.
Okay, so the next one is Notre Dame at Syracuse. Syracuse is number 16. That's kind of an under the radar game, but I think it'll be a good game. Syracuse is only favored by 1.5 points, and Syracuse, they almost beat Clemson last week. They overall Clemson's a better team, but Syracuse, they had them. They had them on the ropes, and then
I know
they just
man.
there were some calls that weren't good, but honestly, looking back at it, they just imploded. They just self-destructed, and it was they like I said, they really had Clemson at Clemson, but they messed it up. And Notre Dame, they kind of turned it around. They started off really bad, but I say kind of because they're doing good, and then they lost to Stanford, who's not good.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a good game, but I think Syracuse is going to win. They have the better team, the better defense. They've been playing better, is what I mean. So
Yeah, and surprisingly, the line on this is only 1.5 points.
Yeah.
You know, but Syracuse is at home, and I agree with you. I think they're playing really good. They come off that almost win against Clemson, which would have been amazing for them. So that's my pick. I'm gonna go with Syracuse too. I think this is Matthew's second team. Actually, there he is. Hello,
There
Matthew,
we
just
go.
on cue. And I'm sure you are picking Syracuse because I can already see you writing there
on
Syracuse.
cue for Syracuse.
On cue for Syracuse. All right, Boris, who do you like?
That's a tough one. I think it will be the close game. Notre Dame has played very well, but because it's played in Q's home, so I pick Syracuse.
All right, man. Hey, for so far we're all picking the same team. That's scary. We'll see.
Oh no.
Hey, Matthew, who do you have for the first one, Ohio State and Penn State game? There, Matthew. Give us your pick, real quick, and I'm gonna write it here so we can have all of our guest pickers. So I know you have Syracuse, and let's see. All right. So what? And that one comes on at what time?
At 12.
At 12. Oh, that's the
12.
first one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was gonna run to get Chinese, so I need to wait and watch a little bit of that one
Oh
first.
yeah, the Ohio State one is also like at 12, as I said. So those are the better 12 o'clock games. So
Well, Matthew says Ohio State in a blowout. That's what is on paper, but anything can happen. I predict that. I think that's what you said, that
yeah.
it's gonna be close at the beginning, and then of course second half Ohio State is gonna run out with it. But I even expect Penn State to be ahead at the beginning. So we'll see.
I honestly hesitate to predict the games,
Uh-huh.
even if I think I know it's gonna go one way, because like I can predict the outcome sometimes, but like how the game plays out is super unpredictable sometimes. So
Yeah.
but this one I'm pretty sure I think it'll start off like that. Like
Yeah, usually the home teams, they're super excited, and that's
Yeah.
what happens at the beginning. They play usually pretty good, and then they run out of gas. So
Yeah.
all
basically.
right. So so far we are all in agreement of the first two games. Ohio State taking the first one and Syracuse taking the second one. Let's see what happens here with what's third.
Oh boy. Third is Florida. Unranked Florida plays the number one team in the country, Georgia.
Oh man,
Georgia's favored by 23.5.
Oh, that hurts. That's a
And-
lot.
I don't blame them. I mean, Georgia, although they have looked vulnerable at times, but they've been very good this year. Like they've been stellar.
I
And
know.
the Gators have just been inconsistent as usual. That's how we've been the last maybe 14 years. Inconsistent. So Yeah, the thing is, this is a very big rivalry, and anything can happen in big rivalries. So, of course, sadly, I'm gonna have to pick Georgia, but anything can happen in a rivalry. So
Yes, yes. I will be very surprised if the Gators win this game. I'm also picking Georgia, even though the Gators are my team. The only thing that and some of the commentators were saying that could happen if for whatever reason our quarterback Richardson has the best game of his life, meaning that he's accurate with his passes, he uses his legs to run. The Gators can win because the Gators do have talent. They actually have some talent. They're just young, inexperienced, and they just haven't had the quarterback kind of be on board with the receivers and actually being accurate. He's just been very inaccurate.
and inconsistent. That's what's frustrating about the Gators is when you have a team that's not talented and they're doing bad, you're like, okay, next season. But the Gators, they have the talent, and our quarterback has the potential to be amazing, and he could be, but he's just young and he's not there yet. So it's frustrating.
So
but
we have some receivers, and then also we have not one, but 3 or 4 running backs are actually really good. So if the Gators can pull it together and somehow be inspired, again, this game, for the ones that don't know, it happens in a neutral site. It's in Jacksonville, and so it's not advantage to one or the other. The stadium is split in the middle, red and orange and blue. So it's a very exciting game, actually, for anybody that wants to see it. It's on CBS at what time?
3:30.
At 3:30. Should be exciting. Hopefully, it's not a blowout. But we got to go with the favorite, Georgia.
Georgia, sadly. Yeah. I wish it was the Gators.
Yeah.
So something interesting about the rivalry, last note on the game is the name. You know how rivalries have the name, like their own names? It's called the largest outdoor cocktail party. That's what the name is for the rivalry. They don't say it that much on television anymore because I think somebody complained for some reason, but I don't know why, but yeah, that's the name of the rivalry.
I'm sure they'll find something that's either discriminating or racist about a cocktail because they're always finding stuff like that lately. We have Matthew picking Georgia, and let's see what Boris says about Georgia versus Florida. What do you like, Boris?
Yeah, Georgia, but I don't believe it will be a blowout game. Georgia will win.
But you still think Georgia's going to win? Okay.
Hi, Stephen, Kathy.
Now, so do you think that's going to be like close at the beginning and then Georgia's going to run off with the game? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. I actually don't know how the game will run, but I think it will be pretty close. At least Georgia won't cover the spread, so maybe like two touchdowns or something like that. But not
okay. All right. Well, when I say hello to Steve and Kathy, they're here on the chat. I think their show is about to start pretty soon for the piping community and our piping friends. Steve and Kathy comes on at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so you guys can go there and show them some love. Because we know football talk is not for everybody, but of course, if you like football, here we are. Thanks for your pick, Boris. It looks like another unanimous. Everybody picking Georgia because Matthew also picked Georgia. So far, we are in agreement.
If we all have to get one wrong, I hope it's that one.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but hey, last week we didn't have many surprises.
Besides the LSU game.
Besides
we
LSU,
all picked that, and
maybe this week it will be the same.
It'll be Georgia, yeah.
All right. So what's next?
All right. Next is the game that I think I can almost guarantee out of these other games that I don't think it'll get lopsided. I think it'll be very close because of the point spread also. So it's number 9 Oklahoma State at number 22 Kansas State, and Kansas State's actually favored. They're at home by 1.5 points. So Kansas State, they're a dynamic team. They're an exciting team to watch.
Yes, I like seeing them
Yeah,
play.
they're
Really
fun.
fun.
That
Yeah.
whole conference, I've said it many times, is so fun to watch. The Big 12 this year, it's anybody can beat anybody. And Oklahoma State, they're always in some tough games. Last week against Texas, that was a good game. I was the only person who believed in Oklahoma State. I picked them. Everybody else picked Texas, which I don't blame. But for this one, although Kansas State is the favorite, I'm gonna pick Oklahoma State because they just seem like the more balanced team, and they're a very good team. They're number 9 for a reason. They're very good.
Yeah, I like watching this, and I agree with you. I think this is going to be a game that is going to be kind of fun to watch back and forth,
Yes.
and I don't think it's going to be a blowout either. They're both playing very well, but I'm going to go with you. I like Oklahoma State. We have Steven and Miss Kathy. They actually live in Oklahoma, but he told me that they don't root for Oklahoma. I forgot. I think they root for Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the team that he roots for, but I could be wrong. So I'm going with Oklahoma State on this one. Matthew, give us your pick when you get a chance there. And let's see what Boris thinks about this game.
I think also it will be a close game, but I pick Kansas State. So
okay.
Some difference.
Yeah, some.
All right, Boris. There you go. I think any pick in this game is good. It is that closely matched, and Kansas it's at home for Kansas State, so I'll give him that edge. And Matthew's also picking Kansas State. There you go.
Oh, there you go. We're split.
We're splitting one. Okay. Actually, I wrote it wrong for Boris. Let me fix that. Kansas State. All right, so we're split on this one. So definitely anybody's game on that one. And that one is
That one is at 3:30 as well.
3:30. Okay. So we'll have that one on the split screen and back there for sure on that TV, and the other one on the other TV. What else we got today?
All right, and the last game of the featured games is number 19 Kentucky at number 3 Tennessee. Kentucky's a good team. They're solid, but Tennessee, man, they're on fire. Their offense is hard to stop. I remember in the Alabama game, it was like breaking down like how long it took for them to score their first like 4 touchdowns, and it was all of them were less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes, they just went down the field, just scored like nothing.
If you guys have not seen Tennessee play, and let me tell you, it is fun to watch because they no huddle, go, and it just makes the game exciting because it's just fast paced. I'm really looking forward to that game. Just want to see if Tennessee's, keeps it going. I mean, they really are on a rally, on a momentum there for sure.
What could go in Kentucky's favor is Kentucky's coach. He's pretty good.
He's a good coach.
Mark Stoops, he's good. And also Tennessee has a big game. This is an SEC game. It's big, but next week is huge. They play Georgia, and that could be 2 versus 3, 1 versus 2. So that's a monumental game. So maybe they're looking forward and Kentucky catches them sleeping.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I doubt that'll happen, but that does happen a lot. So you never know.
So who are you picking in this game?
I'm picking Tennessee because it's hard to pick against them. With their offense, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm going with Tennessee too. Matthew's going with Tennessee too. And what do you think, Boris?
There is all the elements of trap game, because Tennessee has the Georgia ahead. So, but still, I can't pick against Tennessee. It's such a good team. So,
yes,
it's hard to pick against them. So we all pick Tennessee on this one again. Kentucky can surprise. I think if it was at Kentucky, maybe giving them the edge of the home team, but it's at Tennessee. I think they have the momentum going. I think unless they're completely unfocused on this game or they decide to play other players to save them, which would be really stupid, I think that they're just going to run off with this game. It might not even be close.
Yeah,
actually, that's what I think.
They score so fast that we'll see. But something Tennessee's done that's really smart is the way they've scheduled their home games, they played the Gators at home, they played Alabama at home, and they played Kentucky at home. Like, that's smart. That's very smart.
That worked out for them, really.
Unfortunately for them, they don't play Georgia at home. But I mean, they can't have everyone at home.
Exactly.
They'll run out of goalposts if they do that.
I'm again, I know this is hard to predict, but I'm predicting Tennessee, but blowout. I think they will blow out Kentucky. Wow. That's my prediction.
If they do, I think they can have a shot at being number one. If they completely destroy Kentucky, they have my vote for number one, honestly.
All right. What else we got? Are we ready for upsets, or are you just gonna honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Okay. Here we
go.
So
an honorable mention that almost made the feature games is number 20 Cincinnati at UCF, and UCF at times can look amazing, and Cincinnati is still ranked. Everybody forgot about Cincinnati, but they're still ranked number 20. They only have one loss, and it's at UCF, and UCF is like favored by 1 point, so I think that's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, I think what happened with Cincinnati is they're usually, at the beginning of the year, they're usually undefeated and they're on the radar, but they lost early.
Yeah,
this
the first game they lost, and then
they were off the radar. They're one of those teams. I think they're not in a conference, right? Are they in a conference?
No, they are. They're in the American Athletic Conference, but they're going to the Big 12. I think next year.
That's like not being in a conference.
So it's a Power 5 conference, and Power 5 teams don't really get any attention.
Exactly.
So, even if they're good, so it is a shame. But I mean,
all right. So you're going with Cincinnati in this one? Is that what I'm hearing, or you?
I think I'm gonna go with UCF.
Oh, okay.
They're at UCF, so. Oh, are we counting this one?
No, we're not counting it. But I'll just write it here just for fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
UCF. All right. I like Cincinnati still. I think that they're the better team, and like I said, it was unfortunate that they lost their first game, but they're still good. So Matthew and Boris, if you wanted to pick on this one, but if you want to pick on this one, I'll let you pick. You who you like here, Boris? Have you watched Cincinnati play this year?
Cincinnati.
Yeah. I think so. I think they again. It's just a shame that they lost at the beginning of the year, but they're still a good team. Nobody cares about them because of the conference and because they got one loss. But all right, Matthew, you can give us your pick later if you like. All right, are we moving more honorable mentions?
Yeah, with some quick honorable mentions just to glance by is number 10 Wake Forest. Well, like I said, Wake Forest is a very fun team to watch. If you haven't
like
seen
Wake Forest,
and they're number 10, which is very high. I mean, that's the top 10, and I feel like they're like nobody knows.
Well, they barely lost to Clemson, right?
Yeah, I think in 2 overtimes. That's their only loss. Like they're a good team.
So I think that's why they're number 10. This team, the only loss is to a team that is one of the best teams. And hey, I think they're going under the radar. But Wake Forest is a very good team. So they play at Louisville.
And they're only favored by 3 points.
Okay.
So I think that would be a fun game to watch.
That's kind of scary. Mention. Only when the experts do that. But yeah, definitely Wake Forest. What else?
And then number 17, Illinois is at Nebraska. Nebraska isn't that good, but it's at Nebraska, and Illinois is only favored by 7.5. And Illinois, they're the front runners for the Big Ten West, which is, it's East versus West for the championship, Big Ten championship. So they're the front runner for that. So let's see if they can keep it going.
And they can definitely play spoiler in a championship game because they are, they can play well. They can play well when they want to.
Their defense it's very good. Like I don't know if it's maybe they haven't played the best offenses, but what I've seen, their defense is good. Like,
I see a team there that definitely has been playing good lately. You have Missouri and South Carolina.
Yes. That was my next honorable mention. An SEC game, and they're at South Carolina. South Carolina games at home lately, they look very pumped up.
I know.
I had it on last week. I switched the channel.
I saw it. I saw a little bit. Yeah.
And to start the game, they returned a kick, and that just set the tone, like a kick for a touchdown. That set the tone. So they're very excited. They started off 1-2, and then they haven't lost since. I think they're 5-2 now. Like that's really good. I mean,
for sure. Hello, Cole. I see that he's here joining us. How are you doing today? Yeah, South Carolina is starting to look like a very good team. Kind of, they wait a little long there to get it started, but they got them ranked to 25. They're on the board now.
That's right.
Who else?
And then some other quick ones is number 15, Ole Miss is going to Texas A&M. I feel like Ole Miss, they only have one loss, but they're not going to get any recognition because they got destroyed by LSU. But I still think they're a good team. And
They can show something by beating Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Convincingly at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M has been disappointing, but I mean
they're a mess.
I don't know.
I think their problems are internal, definitely not because of having a bad team. They have internal problems. So
yeah, a team that's also a mess is Miami. They're not featured here, but last week I think that was one of the games that was like on the honorable mentions. Duke versus Miami. They did like 8 turnovers on the I don't know like how you do that. That's crazy. So yeah, those are 2 teams that their season is not going too well. So just thought I'd throw that out there. But the last honorable mention is Pittsburgh at number 21, North Carolina. North Carolina still only has 1 loss, and they're the 1-loss team that's like forgotten, like thrown in the back of the trunk for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's still they're still in the running there for the ACC, right?
No, yes, yeah, they're on the. I always forget if it's that Atlantic or Coastal, but there's one side that's like stacked.
Wide open.
It's like
one stack and one is wide
and
open.
then one is wide open, and the wide open one, North Carolina, that's the one they're at, and they're the favorite right now by a big margin.
Yeah,
so.
But that's actually gonna be, I think, a close game and a good game. Pittsburgh at North Carolina.
Yeah.
Again, actually 2 exciting teams to watch. So we have here, Cole, Big Country Briar, telling us about his Thundering Herd. The what was that team that beat North today? Marshall. Yeah, Marshall. They have a big game with Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina only has 1 loss.
Ooh, that is tough.
And they have a very good quarterback, so I think that's going to be a good one.
Yes. So definitely a game to watch there. They're exciting, and it's homecoming, so that should make it really exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you, Cole, for giving us the inside scoop on that game. Again, Coastal Carolina is playing really good, so I think they have the work cut out for them, but I think it's anybody's game.
And they've been ranked a couple of times, Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Marshall started off strong. I was hoping that they stayed like going strong for they could have been ranked, but it didn't happen.
So he said that when we were at Vegas, he was at JMU watching the Herd knock them off.
Oh, yeah, James Madison. So they were undefeated and they were ranked. And then Marshall beat them.
And then they met the Thundering Herd.
The Thundering Herd stormed over their party.
I know.
Yeah,
they had some highlights. They beat, Notre Dame early on and just kind of surprised everybody. Then they beat that undefeated team that actually was ranked for the first time.
Yeah, it was their first season as a Division I football team, and they were ranked and undefeated. Like, that's insane.
Until they met the Thundering Herd, and that was the end of that.
They ended that.
Yeah. So Beowulf and Miss Kathy, Stephen Kathy are saying goodbye because they're getting ready for their show again from the piping community. You can just go to their channel, Beowulf and Miss Kathy. And, they have a chat about all things pipe. Another thing going on, especially when this ends, you can check out Lady Fire's Kitchen today. You actually got to try some of this stuff.
Yeah.
She made this mini pumpkin pies, and they are so good.
They were very good, yes.
So if you want to learn how to make them, definitely go to her channel, and the video is up already. It's a simple recipe, super easy to make, and they are super, super good. And they're like in the shape of a pumpkin. It's like really neat. So
it's great.
Yeah. Lady Fire's Kitchen. Just go to that channel if you want to try that out. Upset. Any upsets for this week?
Some upset alert. The first one is obviously Georgia against Florida.
Yeah.
Because they're favored by 23.5. So I won't get too much into that because I already explained that.
But hey, it might be, I don't know, it's risky always, but it could be one to play against that cover points, because anytime you have a game like that, it could be a lot closer than what the bettors predict. So, all right.
And then another one is TCU at West Virginia. So West Virginia, like I said, the Big 12 crazy conference. All the teams there, they can compete.
Mhm,
And it's at West Virginia. West Virginia could knock off TCU. TCU is only favored by 7.5. So that says something. I'm hoping not, because I'm actually pulling for TCU. Like, I like TCU. They're undefeated. All their games have been close. Like, they're a fun team, and if you watch them, their offense is really, really fun to watch. So hoping they don't stumble there, but that's definitely one that they can stumble on.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, that one spells danger. TCU won. Is this the game that they went for 2? Which was supposed to
that was Utah. Utah
man.
actually played on Thursday. And
that was such an exciting game last week. That
was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, against USC.
2 weeks ago, when Utah played USC, they had some balls, and on the last play, instead of going for 1 and time, they went for 2.
Yeah,
and that's how they won. Takes a lot of balls to do that. So definitely giving it to Utah.
That was respect. Yeah.
So TCU, danger. They're playing West Virginia. And that's crazy. Cole says, how the heck is West Virginia only getting 7 points?
Because the Big 12 is crazy.
Exactly.
You never know.
And they're West Virginia, so maybe they're giving it to the home team. Maybe they know something we don't know. Some of the things that some of these people know, let me tell you, they when money's involved, they look into these things. Sometimes we find out at game time that a certain player is not playing because of being hurt. That people that sometimes are not that supposedly on the highlights, like linemen and defensive events, that they're out. And some of this little inside information, these bettors, they know that stuff, and we don't. So sometimes that has something to do with it.
Yeah, like for example, in the Thursday game, when Utah played, the announcer was so confused because when Utah got the ball, it wasn't their starting quarterback. So they were surprised. So you never know.
But this people that bet a lot of money, they know this stuff. They do the research, and they know exactly what's going on all to the last minute. So sometimes, it was the same with that LSU game. They were on rank, right? Yeah. And then they were playing Ole Miss, right?
Ole Miss was only favored by like 2 points or something.
That was number 7. No, actually
LSU was favored
by a lot, and then they started decreasing, but they were favored the whole freaking week. And guess what happened?
That's true,
LSU ended up beating them easy. So, and everybody didn't understand that. How can an unranked team be super favored over a number 7 team? Well, guess what? Again, this inside information people, betting people, they know something we don't sometimes. Yeah. You have Oregon. Oregon has been exciting.
Yeah, Oregon at California. That's the thing that's why they're on upset alert, because Oregon they're high and mighty right now. They took care of business against UCLA. I thought it would be a little closer, but they handled them, and they look like a good team. But Oregon, I've rooted for them for a long time. Like, just not as my main team, but just like as a football fan, I've always liked Oregon. But they always do this. They do amazing, and then towards the end of the season, they just mess it up. So it just comes out of left field, out of nowhere, and they just stumble.
Yeah.
And also, remember when we were looking at the Pac-12 and their home record, and like how almost all the teams in the Pac-12 are like undefeated at home?
Yes.
So it's Cal. They're not that good of a team, but I think they're like 4-0 at home or something. Like,
that's something
so
crazy.
Random. So the home team has the advantage in the Pac-12, which is very, very random.
They're random because they don't play defense. I think Oregon is eventually gonna lose to someone, and it's gonna be surprising.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be Cal. I don't think it's gonna be Cal, but it should be exciting. Well, we got some inside information here from Cole. He said Coach Brown from West Virginia was so pissed after getting embarrassed last week. He said he was going to evaluate film, and anyone who he didn't think played hard was gone, and he was going to make the entire team pay. So
the Gators should do that.
So maybe West Virginia, it has something there to be scared of against
Yeah,
TCU
I
for
mean, I
sure.
would be.
Thank you, Cole, for the inside scoop there. Smarty Bob is in town. How are you today, my friend? You're never late. You're here, and you're here, and that's what counts. That works. So thank you, Bob, for joining us. If you have any pick on, if you have a team that you like, just shout it out and let us know who you're rooting for this weekend and how your teams are doing. So we have only a few more upsets. What else do you think?
So, one that I think is pretty unlikely, but they're rivals. So, like I said, with rivalry games, you never know. Is Michigan State at number 4 Michigan, and I mean their names say it. Michigan State, Michigan, like they have a rivalry, and it's not like quite like the Michigan and Ohio State rivalry, but it is a rivalry, and the games are always crazy.
Anything can happen. But again, Michigan number 4 playing amazing. Michigan State not playing amazing. Not even ranked.
And they're at home. Michigan's at home.
Michigan's at home. And Michigan, I don't know if you guys have seen it. They're playing like the old style kind of Alabama play where they run the ball, and they're very boring.
Stop them, yeah.
Very boring to watch, but is very effective, and the other teams can't stop them. So again, this might we'll call out. We're calling out the games that are interesting. This may not be an interesting game.
Yeah.
And it may be boring, a lot of running, but I'm picking Michigan on this one.
Yeah. They're favored by 23. Like, I mean.
So Bob says that he'd like to see Notre Dame win, but I think they will get beat. Yeah, we covered that game there with Notre Dame. They're
Syracuse.
Yeah. They're playing Syracuse. Of course,
Syracuse, yeah.
they could win. Notre Dame's still a good team. We picked Syracuse because Syracuse lately has been playing really, really, really good. And they're at Syracuse, so it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a close game, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
Syracuse is only favored by a point.
Yeah, it's even in the betting people. So this should be an exciting close game to watch. They usually televise the Notre Dame games,
like
right?
that
NBC or something.
NBC or Peacock, like
for sure.
They're exclusive. They get their own thing.
So all right, so that's your team there, Bob. Okay, now we know. And you think you had one more there, USC?
Yeah, USC at Arizona. I'm just curious to see. That's interesting. In the AP, I just realized Wake Forest and USC are both tied for number 10. So there's 2 number 10s.
Yes. So USC, another team that's been playing pretty well, and they just lost that.
Yeah, they lost that game to Utah 2 weeks ago, which was, I mean, it could have gone either way, but that was an amazing game. Yeah.
So they're still playing well in Arizona. I don't know. What do you think about them, Mike?
Arizona, I've seen them late at night, like because when they're on, and they're okay. Like they can score and stuff, and they're at Arizona, so I think USC will take care of business and beat them, but convincingly. So but I mean, we said something about the home teams in the Pac-12, so if it's close, like who knows?
And a late game, and so USC is favored by 14.5 points. Yeah, that should tell you something there. But we'll see what happens on that one. So any other games you guys would like us to cover, you can shout it out there. If not, we're happy that you guys came to join us there. Bob and Boris and Matthew was early on here with us, and Cole giving us some inside scoop information. Good luck there with the Thundering Herd in their homecoming. I hope they win. They got a tough game for sure. And Steve and Miss Kathy were with us also. So we thank everybody for joining us. It's better when you guys are here with us and we're not alone. And so we appreciate, especially the regulars that are always kind of supporting us. Yeah. But we do this because we like it. And tomorrow, I just want to let you guys know at 8:30, I'm actually going to have a special coverage. I'm going to be going live during the Green Bay Packers game. I'm going to have my other son with me, and we're going to be all decked out in Packer uniform. I'm going to be supporting his team. My team is the Steelers, but, I like the Packers too, and I'm going to support him. So at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to go live, and we're going to watch the game and talk with you guys and just kind of have a kind of an NFL kind of night. So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8:30. If any of you like to join us, join in and come and have fun with us. Does your Minnesota Vikings play tomorrow, Boris?
Yeah,
He's gonna check.
I'm gonna root for Bills in that Packers game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the division rival.
The
of course.
Packers are playing a super hard team to build, so
Vikings
we're taking for a beating, but
Vikings plays against Arizona, and it's pity that they got D-Hop back for that game. So
Oh yeah.
it won't be easy. The Vikings don't play easy games. They are always close.
yeah, I know. Well, if you're around that time, you're welcome to join us. I mean, I know the time difference there in Finland is crazy, but yeah, we'll be live, and if you come, we'll have you join us, and you can tell us
in
a little
Viking jersey.
Yeah, and you wear your Viking gear. Awesome. All right, well, guys. Thank you again for joining us. Thanks, everybody. There you go. He already has it on.
He's ready.
He's ready. He's one day early. Yeah. See you guys next Saturday. Again, we're doing this in the mornings, on Saturday mornings. Lady Fire's Kitchen is doing her show also on Saturdays. And then tomorrow, if you want to join us for the NFL, join us. And we'll be here at 8:39 Eastern Time. Until next time.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Boris.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.